What's up, dudes and dudettes? Once again, you're here with the Rogue Stoner J. Back with the second portion of my video, Life and Weights, as I said I was going to come with. Right now, I am currently eating my sixth meal of the day, and yeah, it's a lot. Super like, hold up.
Oh, baby!
It's coming out through the front and the back. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah!
I'm currently now in my second phase. May not know this, but pretty much instead of every 2 weeks with different exercise, you switch phases. I'm actually doing 3 weeks, so I'm giving myself at least a week to give myself a feeler of where my strength of my body is going into each different exercise. And hopefully I can mentally prepare, because I feel like that is the biggest hurdle to get over whenever you're doing the weight cycles. But the second biggest hurdle, and I feel like it should be number one, is the food. Pretty much the food. And right now I got tuna. I feel like a little cat right now. I don't know if I can. Also, gotta stay hydrated. Good for you. Keep the digestive system lubed up, because you know it's hard to break all this down and get some fat dumps. Anyway, pretty much I gave you the portion where I'm doing weights and how that basically is a physical manifestation of the stress that you put on your body, allowing it to change and grow. Here with life, I feel that it's often, advantageous to lighten weights in your life in order to get further where you want to go, or even just general health, just to improve your health. Right now, one of the examples I want to bring up is my barber. We're going to call him Rob for now. Rob is a black barber. He's been in the neighborhood, for decades. He inherited the business from his father, so he's a black-owned barber who basically wants to do good for himself. He wants to basically own his own property, have his own barbers underneath him, and have the business run for itself. So he doesn't have to, get old, 70, 80 years old, break his back, and still cutting the same heads, doing the same kind of haircut. I mean, it's an entrepreneur, by trade. So I admire that, and I actually want to support that. So every once in a while during, holiday season, or even just regular times when I don't even need to get my hair cut, I'll let him coming in, to say what up, what's going on, sweep a little bit, even give him a couple of dollars, if I can. And in the least, when I do get my hair cut, I give him a big tip, instead of giving like, all right, here's $1 or $2 or whatever, I just give him the whole bill for whatever it is. Around to the nearest, like, $10. And that'll be my haircut. It's just not so much thanks for the services rendered, but what, I am supporting what you're trying to do, because in a sense, I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to own my own thing. I'm trying to, move forward with my life and do better. Because there's too many of us who become statistics, and we often, see our lives go by so fast that we can't really recall where it went or where it went. But, that aside, here's the cons. Rob is the type of man who basically will fill his tank up and put his foot to the metal and will go off, and then quickly just guzzle all that gas, and all of a sudden he doesn't have anything left. So pretty much it's not so much him making mistakes, but it's more of a problem of him keeping the momentum going. And oftentimes he's the type of person that will procrastinate. He's been in the neighborhood for years, so naturally people from the neighborhood want to come and talk and see him. And, that takes up, customer time, and it's one of those things that, I'm a very patient man, but in this particular case, it was just like the nail that broke the camel's back, or the straw that broke the camel's back. Pretty much, I was sitting in the place. I went to the barbershop. I had 2 hours before I had to move on to the next job I had to do. And, I can, sit in here and, wait for an hour or so, shouldn't have to wait an hour or two for your haircut. But I mean, if some people are in front of you, sure, you have to wait. This particular time, there was only one person in the chair and nobody else there. I waited for 1 hour and 20 minutes, and this man, Rob, didn't even get halfway through this haircut. Mainly because he was talking. The guy wanted to get up and go to the store. He kept running in. Rob kept running in and out the shop, running around with girls. And then, this other girl came by and he was avoiding her. And then when he was actually cutting, another person came in. They started having a 3-way conversation. And he can see me getting agitated, but he didn't, progress with the work. I don't mind you talking and everything, but it was more like cut, talk, move around, drink a beer, be with the TV, talk about sports, cut, talk about sports, talk about this, talk about why you're mad. It was just a lot of like, things that you're not focused on the business right now. So after about an hour and a half or hour and 20, another person came around from outside and told him to come outside and talk. And I'm like, you know what? That was the last straw. So I ended up leaving. He asked, oh, I'm sorry, man. When's the next time you gonna come? I was like, I gotta check my schedule. I ain't never coming back.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Meanwhile, I found another barber, through another friend of mine who suggested this barber. Let's call him Marcus. Now, Marcus is a businessman. He's a black-owned. He's a black man who owns his own business. He has a beauty salon next door, his barbershop, and is hoping to open up another store. And he's getting the works in for that. Now, I appreciate that about him. He's not just somebody who's going to talk the talk, but actually walk it. Not to mention, he's organized. So pretty much, if you want a haircut or whatever it is you need, you call ahead. He'll give you an hour slot, and that gives him enough time to go eat food, talk with other people, take care of some business, and come back and service the customer. So it's not just, he sees you as a price, but he also treats you like a person. And that's what Rob used to do, and he still does, but he's so caught up in his feelings and all his other, stuff in life that he doesn't focus on what this client is doing for him. And that's getting him one step closer to his goal. So in this case, he just lost the customer because he does what he does. This other guy can still talk, but he can still cut, still this, that, and the third. It doesn't matter how many times he does a season. He gets the work done. So that was just an example of basically how sometimes you got to change and, distance yourself and cut some attachments to basically grow and, take care of your own business. So in this particular case, I basically cut one attachment off. It wasn't easy, but I cut one attachment off to be able to, maximize my time at another place. So this person will cut my hair. I can go off and do what I got to do, and I respect entrepreneurs. I'm the type of person who is a man of his word. If I say I'm going to do something, unless like the powers that be stop me, I'm going to do whatever I can and however I can, make whatever sacrifice I can to get to where I need to go. And it's something that maybe I hold too much of a high standard for other people who say the same thing, but we can all talk about it. But when it's time to actually put the work in, when nobody's watching you, that's when you're supposed to shine. That's when you're supposed to put the work in. That's when you're supposed to grind. And in New York, everybody has to have a hustle. Otherwise, you'll end up, in the back burner somewhere begging. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not the type of person to want to beg for the rest of my life. I want to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to meet people and eat foods and do things and enjoy life without worrying about when's my next check coming in. I wonder if I spend this will affect me next month or next quarter. I want to be able to just bang, done. You know what I mean? Let's go enjoy ourselves. Let's not worry about that. There's all too many people who experience that, and I've seen it. So there's no way I can go backwards in my life and just be content with, the bare minimum. Because at the end of the day, if you tell somebody a story, the next question is, in my personal opinion, what have you done to advance yourself? If you come up with nothing but excuses, then it's your own fault. And nobody can really make any kind of business or, network with you because you're the type of person who likes to talk, but you're not willing to do. You're not the type of person to show. Everybody can talk, but not everybody's willing to do the work and show up. So, I do the same thing with family. Not to say everybody's situation is the same, but if you have a vision, if you have a dream, and nobody can see that dream and nobody's willing to help you with that dream, sometimes, to much of your chagrin, you may not want to cut them off, but distance yourself. And you can tell them I'm upset, but distance yourself, give a little room so you can breathe, and get a little bit closer to what it is that you enjoy, the thing that you want, the thing that you feel like you are deserving of. No one here is entitled. If you feel like you are deserving of it, fight for it, go for it. Nothing can stop you except death. There are going to be a lot of things that's going to, push you back, maybe, life, health. There's various situations I'm probably not even mentioning right now. But you know what? As long as that dream is still alive in you and you are able-bodied, handicap or otherwise, if you are able-bodied, able-minded, you will find a way to get there, okay? Or find another way around it. Either way, that was just my 2 cents. Just want to share it. It's not much of a rant, but I just want to say this because I believe in y'all. I just want y'all to believe in yourselves because I believe in me. And even though I find that it's hard times here and there, you know, you got to make time for it. And you only get one life, so you might as well do the best you can. Otherwise, you die, and then who really cares? You'll be dead. Nobody will really care because they've moved on. So do something with your life if that's what you want. If not, enjoy sitting back watching Netflix as long as you're happy. That's my point. All right, y'all. Just wanted to say that for this little video. I don't know if it's short or not like that, but you know what? Just want to say many blessings. Peace.